Din, 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 din. Welcome back to the James Franco podcast. Why you look so confused, Franco? That's our theme song, man. Welcome back to the James Franco podcast. This is episode 3. How are you doing, Franco?
I'm doing great. Just got off of a long day at work, doing nothing.
Really, was it a boring day?
Hold on a second. It's cutting out. James?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
James?
Yes. Can you hear me?
My internet connection is unstable. My internet connection is unstable.
I hear you. Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me.
No, you sound totally choppy.
Okay, let me check.
It's not you. It's not you. It's definitely me. I'm getting this fixed.
Turn your phone off Wi-Fi.
My phone? My cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's off Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I always have it on LTE.
How does it sound now? Good?
No, it's still doing that. I think it's because they're playing Netflix downstairs or something. Amazon Prime, Hulu,
Damn.
something.
Go turn it on. Go turn it off.
What?
Dude, the delay is so funny.
I know. It sounds like.
You sound fine for me.
Okay. I think it's okay now. I'm getting a traffic shaping device from my company. And what they're going to do is they're going to prioritize any traffic that comes through to me. So that way, I'll never run into this again.
How? I didn't even know that thing existed.
I know, dude. I'm learning so much stuff at this company. So the traffic shaping device is basically like, imagine the internet coming into your house is like a highway, right? And the traffic shaping device is an ambulance.
Okay.
It basically tells everything to scoot over so that it can go through. So it prioritizes this conversation, and anything that's left over is used for Netflix, which is fine because all Netflix has to do is wait a little bit to buffer, and then it's good. Whereas this is happening in real time.
Okay.
Which is very awesome. This is what actually I sell this. I sell communications systems. So I'm selling phone, which is called Voice over IP, and then I sell something called UCAS, which is Unified Communications as a Service, and it's essentially video, text, voice, any kind of multimedia packet that comes over the internet.
Very cool. Are you trying to sell me right now or something?
No.
Because I'm fine, man. I got a phone, I got a computer, I got everything.
I'm just telling you that this is the stuff that I've been learning, which is pretty cool.
No, that is cool. That's just such a funny thing. The way you said it, traffic, what is it?
That the internet coming to your house is like a highway.
No. What is the name of the device?
A traffic shaping device.
It just sounds so made up.
Oh.
Like it sounds like...
it is made up. At some point it was made up.
That's true.
Yeah.
So is every word, man. So chill, relax. Oh, man. I'm tired. You know that.
Yeah.
Me and Stephen Kibb recorded Dungeons and Dragons earlier, and it used up all my mental energy. And then what mental energy I had left, I was working on music, which is awesome. And then a little bit of energy left over. Then I played some Red Dead Redemption 2. So now I'm like running on empty. But
so you used your last little bit of precious brain power to play Red Dead Redemption right before our podcast.
Yeah. But no, it's okay, man. We got stuff to talk about. We got crazy stuff to talk about. Last week, I was going to explain to you the Mandela Effect and what that was. And because like we started last week's episode and we were like, yeah, these are some of the things we're going to talk about, Mandela Effect, and then just never talked about it a single time, never mentioned it again. So that's what we should focus on today and whatever else comes up.
That'll never happen again.
So Franco, you don't know what the Mandela Effect is, right?
No.
You've never even heard of that?
No, not until you mentioned it.
Okay. Well, according to readersdigest.com, which gave me this nice little list of 44 different Mandela Effect examples, I'm going to blow your mind with some right now, Franco. You're going to I hope that these affect you. So basically,
have a lasting impact.
Yeah. I hope you can't sleep. And when you can't sleep, you dream, and you can't sleep without me. And what is it? It aches at you, and you can't breathe without me.
I'm gonna Google those lyrics. I can't remember.
Oh man, is that Stan?
Yeah, it's Stan.
I love just coming at you with a random ass lyric.
Hold on a second. I have to get this now, or else I'm gonna lose it.
It's in the last verse.
I know. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I could have signed an autograph for Matthew. It's my little brother, man. He's only 6 years old.
Sorry, not the last verse. The second to last verse. I'm going to find it so much quicker than you. Watch this. Okay, here it is. Found it. You ruined it now. Sleep and you dream about it. And when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your conscience eats at you and you can't breathe without me. There it is. We got it. All right. So, Mandela Effect.
Okay.
You're probably thinking, what in the world? James, what in the world is the Mandela Effect? So basically, it's having memories that don't match with current reality and history. Basically, you have a clear memory.
Oh, it sounds like my ex-girlfriend, dude.
So basically, you have a memory, a clear memory, vivid memory of something being a certain way. You're sure of it. And other people have that shared collective memory. But when you look back and check, it's something different than what you and a lot of other people remembered. So one of the main example why it's called the Nelson or the Mandela Effect is because it comes from Nelson Mandela. It says that a lot of people had clear memories of Nelson.
I'm like Daffy Duck when I'm spitting.
So basically, all these people thought that Nelson Mandela died in prison years before his actual passing. He passed away in 2013, but people thought that he died in the 80s. And a lot of people were sure of it. So that's how it got its name. And then it got a lot of people thinking about other things and trying to find other Mandela effects. So
you said that he passed away in 2013. When did he pass away?
He died in 2013, but a lot of people thought that he had died in the 80s because that's when he started becoming very vocal as an activist and eventually became the president of South Africa. But I think he was in prison, which was a big deal. He was in prison around that time, so everyone thought that he died in prison. But so that's just the main example of a collective memory, all misremembering something.
When he passed away in 2013, was he still in prison?
No.
Okay.
He had left prison and was the president of South Africa and one of the most influential activists against apartheid in Africa.
And how do people not remember? How did the people mess that up? Or is it just because...
Good question. I don't know, man. Maybe they weren't...
Did they not know anything about him? Because for me, I know the name Nelson Mandela. I know a little bit about... I don't really know about Nelson Mandela, though.
Sure. So it could be partly that. It could be just a lack of information that you even have about the person or whatever subject the Mandela Effect is. But that's kind of where it stems from, is a lot of people misremembering a key thing about the thing. The fact that they're sure that he died in the 80s. Here, I'll give you some better examples because that's just how it got its name. But there are a lot better examples of the actual Mandela Effect.
Okay.
Curious George, for example. You know Curious George? You're familiar with him?
The cartoon?
Yeah, the monkey.
Yeah.
So picture him right now. Does he have a tail or not?
No.
Okay, well, you got that one. You're right. He doesn't have a tail. But that's one of the big debates, is that people remember for sure, remembered episodes of him using his tail for specific things and shit.
Oh.
Dude, that's so funny. So explain why your camera's doing that.
That's going to keep happening. The screen is a little weak. The screen is loose.
Dude, it's just...
It's a little flappy.
Holy shit.
It's kind of like in the episode of The Office where they all are trying to decide or vote if Stanley has a mustache.
Oh,
or
yeah,
doesn't have a
exactly.
mustache.
Exactly. It's literally
So
exactly
it's just
that.
remembering something wrong?
Yeah, but it's like there are better examples. It's like collectively, like a lot of people.
Like a lot of people fuck up all at once.
Yeah. And like, but I think that, I mean, obviously there's a psychology to it for sure, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about we're talking about alternate dimensions, dude.
With the Mandela?
Yeah, that's what one of the theories here. Let me see. Mandela Effect, alternate dimensions. It's like a crossover of alternate dimensions. Why things are being misremembered. Okay, I can't find that, but maybe we'll find it later. That one's boring. That one's boring. That one's boring.
So what is this whole interdimensional thing with Nelson Mandela?
Oh, here's something. How do you spell Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes?
Yep.
Looney space Toones?
Tooons?
NES?
Well, no, not NES. But so you think it's tunes like TOONS?
Well, it's Looney, Looney, and then Tunes.
You don't have to get this right. This isn't like a question on a test.
I actually don't.
But here's the thing. So you
yeah.
immediately thought back, and you were TOONS is what you thought, but it's actually Looney Tunes TUNES, spelt like normally, like the way Tunes is spelt. But you would think it would be Tunes TOONS because Looney also has two O's, so it's like Looney Tunes. It would look better. So
or cartoon,
exactly. But
what's something else? So it's something that I would actually, because these are things that I don't really know. What's something else?
Oh, here's one. In Star Wars, Vader's famous line to Luke.
He says, Luke, I am your father.
No.
What does he say?
He says, no, I am your father. He never says Luke. Because the line leading up to it,
right.
Luke is like, or he's like, Obi-Wan never told you about your father. And then Luke's like, he told me you killed him. And then so in response to that, he says, no, I am your father. But it became the famous thing where everyone thought it was Luke, I am your father.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I think that's just people remembering it wrong and propagating it in that way.
Yeah, some of these are fucking bad, but there are ones that are really, really good. Give me a second. Let me find. Craziest Mandela effects. Thank you, Google, for knowing.
Although that happened to me recently, I was watching something. I can't remember what it was. It was like a TV show or a movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna drive me nuts. I cannot remember what it is, but it was like a specific line that is said that I always thought was really cool.
In a movie or a song?
And then I'm remembering it in a movie. I can't remember if it's a movie or a TV show. And then I watched it again, and the line was different. So I just heard it wrong or remembered it wrong or something like that.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Because I've been having like a lot of vivid ass dreams. Or last week I had like 3 nights in a row, very vivid dreams. And I always feel like that means something.
Yeah, I have vivid dreams too. They're all sexual. That was a delayed reaction. No, dude, I have some insane dreams, dude. Shouldn't even talk about it.
Shouldn't even talk about it.
I've had seriously. I go on adventures in my dreams, dude. I go on missions.
Oh fuck! This is crazy. I'm on Reddit, r/Mandela Effect, and one of the top posts says, Mandela effects are the exact type of things we were warned about happening if we altered the past on a large scale while time traveling. Do you get it?
I get it.
Because it's little misrememberings of little small details. And like when with time travel, going back and altering things and changing things, like the butterfly effect will change little things here and there that wouldn't even be recognizable. But then it's because it's happening on our timeline. So like it's happening to our own past and our own minds and memories. But it's like the human mind is more powerful.
I think one of my favorite ideas between time travel is the way that they did it in Endgame, which is it creates an alternate timeline. In my opinion, that makes way more sense.
Well, that would only make sense if it was proven that
that it did that.
That would only make sense if it was proven that time travel was real, man. Come on, idiot. No, I was going to say that that would make perfect sense if there were confirmed like multiple universes and like a multiverse, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess
by the way,
if any of that shit was proven real, then like, of course it would make sense.
By the way, for anybody who is interested in this, one thing that I think is kind of my own theory for what happened in Endgame and Captain America was that whole story arc that we've been on for the last like 12 years has all been an alternate timeline that Cap created when he came back and has lived his old age, because he lived in his old age up until the end of, unless I'm completely wrong about this and there's like confirmation for this. So
Well, wait, what do you mean?
please let me know.
But no, because he lived out his life in a different timeline, not in the MCU timeline.
No, because he came back with the shield, and I think he was also present at Peggy's funeral. So for him, he had to have been in a different timeline, come back in time in order to live out as an old man in the shadows, while our Captain America, while the young Captain America got defrosted, which means that this is the timeline that was created by Captain America. Does that make sense? Okay.
It's an interesting idea, but I think that you're missing the point that when he at the end of Endgame, when he left in the machine to take everything back, he technically stayed where he went. He brought everything back to where it was, replaced it, and then stayed at the end.
Stayed with Peggy.
Yeah. Which is when it was a different timeline. And then at the end of his life, Peggy died in his own timeline of old age, but he was also old because they grew old together. And so then once she died and was gone, then he came back to the current timeline to give everything back, to give the shield to Falcon. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's not as exciting as the fact that there are two Captain America children super soldiers out there in the MCU timeline, and I like to believe that.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, I think that like story's pretty open and shut. I feel like the theories with like Endgame and stuff now are pretty much like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for what's going to come next, dude. The most recent Black Widow trailer looks so fucking good. It looks like the action looks incredible.
There's one that came out recently.
Well, the most recent one. I don't know when it came out,
okay.
but the one with like the scene of them like flying through the sky and shit, and with like all the wreckage and shit. That shit looks so good.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard a theory about the Black Widow movie that it actually doesn't. It's not a prequel, not a prequel, but because it's supposed to take place between Civil War and Infinity War.
Right.
And I think it will part of it, but then I think, or the theory says that she gets resurrected, and so it like the rest of it takes place after Endgame.
Oh.
And that would be a really good marketing thing, because you think, oh, okay, well, she's dead in the movie. It's gonna take place during this timeline, so that's it, cut and dry. Like it makes perfect sense for it to take place then. But then they come through with a fucking twist, and it actually takes place after Endgame, like she gets resurrected somehow. Can you stop shaking? Are you having an earthquake?
It's just not a stable table.
Oh.
So that means that they can bring Gamora back.
Well, the 2014 Gamora is with the Guardians right now. Remember?
Yeah, so this is the Black Widow that's going to get resurrected because Black Widow gave herself to get the Soul Stone. So then Gamora, you technically can do the same thing for Gamora.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, I don't know. That's all part of the theory. I think technically it's gotta like. There's also rumors of Quicksilver coming back, and I think that they're gonna do something with
Quicksilver's dead. That guy's been dead, and he's gonna stay dead.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's always talking like Quicksilver's gonna come back, and it's like
every year it's like Quicksilver's gonna come back, and I'm like, no, that's not.
No, he's dead as fuck, dude. He was shot with a trillion bullets. He was shot by a machine gun. He's dead.
Yeah,
dude. Remember his?
Dead.
I think it was like low-key cringy, man. His fucking line he says. When he doesn't he say like a dumbass line when he isn't he like wasn't quick enough for that?
Let's Mandela Effect this. Let's Mandela Effect
Holy
this.
shit! Doesn't he say?
So,
doesn't he say like wasn't quick enough for that? And like die?
He says you didn't see that coming. To Hawkeye, because the whole movie.
Wait, yeah. Wait, he does. He says that though.
Yeah,
that's so cringy.
That's what he says. And then
that's so cringy. That's his dying line. You didn't see that coming. Like a fucking one-liner. That's so funny. Man, see, we almost just got off on fucking Marvel shit. But
we brought it back.
Are you? Yeah, we did. Are you interested in the Mandela Effect? Should I keep talking about it?
If I can find something that's a little stronger than the examples, because I just feel like those are just people remembering things wrong together.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens. You get that in small groups.
Yeah, totally.
And you get that in big groups. So why not get it through the entire world? 1 second. Okay.
Let me see if there's any. Yeah, I mean, now looking into it, like, just trying to find ones, it's just becoming more clear to me that exactly what you said, like, it's just a misremembering of little things, but other people are also misremembering, because if you hear somebody described a certain way and you already don't remember it fully and clearly, then that's going to influence your thoughts easily.
Exactly.
All right, so we're moving on. We checked the Mandela Effect off the list, and we just disproved it, baby.
Also, if people are talking about Mandela in the past tense, then Nelson Mandela in the past tense, then maybe that's one of, I don't know, several explanations that would lead people to think that he's dead.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's literally just misremembering.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. You helped. We just crossed that one off. It's done.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to talk about it ever again.
Yeah, and we wanted to see if we were going to go on like a spiral like we did last time, and we only had that on our list. We don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, and I mean the list that I saw, the list that I saw of all the Mandela Effect examples, there were 44 of them. But like of the first page, it was like 10. None of them are really that interesting, and so I was like, I don't really want to sift through 3 more pages of like ones that where there might be one.
Yeah.
What about the Berenstein Bears one? Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay. Do you even know what the Berenstein Bears is? Then it wouldn't matter. Would it?
What are the Berenstein Bears? Who are they?
I don't know, man. A fucking book or some shit. I don't really care. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I know a thing we can talk about. This is fucking nutty. And again, like, it's always funny the sources where you find certain things, you know? Like, I remember... Do you ever, like, just come across something, whether it's on Google or on YouTube or on Reddit or something, and it's literally just, like, a crazy thing that you hear, like it's a conspiracy or a mystery or something, and then like you're like, oh, that's crazy, I'm gonna look that up, and then you go to look it up and there's like nothing about it?
No, I typically find everything I'm looking for. Just kidding. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and like this
I mean, no, that's never happened to me before, but I'm just like, I'm agreeing.
Sure. Right. Yeah. Totally. Because this story about a Triceratops horn that was dated to 33,500 years. I remember when I first saw it, I think it was on Reddit or something, and it was like, there were a ton of fucking comments and shit. And then I looked it up right now, and there's like not much about it at all, except for this one website, which seems pretty credible. It's called ancientorigins.net. So this is fucking nuts. A Triceratops brow horn was discovered in Dawson County, Montana, and it has been controversially dated to around 33,500 years old, challenging the view that dinosaurs died out around 65 million years ago. The finding radically suggests that early humans may have once walked the earth with the fearsome reptiles thousands of years ago, which I think makes it's believable to an extent. Like when an extinction, like a mass extinction happens, I feel like there is a chance that certain species or like a small population of a small percentage of the population would survive somehow. Maybe, like it doesn't seem impossible. And like,
where did you say it was found?
In Montana. And like, I think the more discoveries that are made about human ancestors and our distant ancestors and things, and like how old like Homo sapiens and other like types of humanoids, like I feel like they're always making discoveries about like it's older than we thought, like these ancient ancestors are older than we thought 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 400,000 years ago, you know what I mean? And so like it could make sense that like the gaps are, but I mean 65 million years is a long fucking time.
Yeah, so where was it found in Montana? Does it tell you?
It's in Dawson County. So the Triceratops brow horn was excavated in May 2012 and stored at the Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum. The museum, which has been in cooperation since 2005 with the Paleochronology Group, a team of consultants in geology, paleontology, chemistry, engineering, and education, sent a sample of the outer portion of the Triceratops brow horn to head of paleochronology. Basically, they did a carbon-14 dating test. The sample was divided in the lab into two fractions with the bulk breakdown products yielding an age of 33,570 years, roughly. And then the other piece of it was 41,000 years.
Dude, that is a crazy find, because if that's true, and it's for sure a Triceratops horn.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet that would...
So 35,000 years, where was it? I mean, it didn't live that long. It didn't live, millions of years or something.
No.
So that means that it has to be another Triceratops' child.
Yeah, I mean, you could put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. So
no, yeah, I mean, like, well...
So where were all the Triceratopses where they would give birth to this progeny?
I don't know, man. That's the whole thing, It's saying that either, like, some species survived, or what we understand of the 65 million years ago just isn't right. Or this isn't right. Something's not right here. But until recently, the carbon-14 dating was never used to test dinosaur bones, as the analysis is only reliable up to 55,000 years. Again, I don't know if all this is true. I'm basing it just off this fucking article right here. Scientists never considered it worthwhile to run the test, since it's generally believed that dinosaurs have been extinct for 65 million years, based on radiometric dating of the volcanic layers above or below fossils. Right.
Okay, this is also from Smithsonian Magazine.
Oh, is this the one about the 65 million year old T-Rex?
What? Damn it, I thought that I specifically typed in Triceratops and this came up on Google. That's really bad SEO. Gosh darn it. Did it contain what's it called? Soft tissue?
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
So I just looked up something else, and apparently the guy, I don't know if it's the guy who wrote this, or let me see real quick. I mean, it's interesting. Apparently the guy who was like doing the tests or something. I don't know exactly. I didn't see his name in this, but I saw it on this other thing. Apparently he's a creationist. So he's like one of the people that believes that the Earth's only like 5,000 years old. Which is not. So you have to take like what he says with a grain of salt, because he, you know what I mean? Like when you're going into a situation wanting to prove one thing, you're less likely to...
What's it called? Confirmation...
bias.
Bias. Wait, what was it? I was reading something. I didn't hear what you said.
He's a creationist, which means he's like one of the Christians that only believes the Earth is like 5,000 years old,
like 6,000 years old.
No.
So, and so this is the guy who found this.
Apparently,
is he from CSUN?
CSUN?
Yeah, Cal State University Northridge. Because I'm reading right here that there was a similar situation where they found soft tissue in a Triceratops bone, and it was in CSUN, and then he'd been fired because they said, we're not going to tolerate your religion in this department. And so then the guy's like suing them because terminating an employee because of their religious views is completely inappropriate and illegal, but doing so in an attempt to silence scientific speech at a public university is even more alarming.
So did he actually run a test on it or something? And what did the test do?
Okay, so from what I'm reading, upon examination of the horn under a high-powered microscope at CSUN, Dacus says Armitage was fascinated to find soft tissue on the sample. A discovery, Backus said, stunned members of the school's biology department and even some students. Okay, so it happened and it's real. Because it indicates that dinosaurs roamed the earth only thousands of years in the past rather than going extinct 60 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Since some creationists like Armitage believe that the Triceratops bones are only 4,000 years old, at most, Armitage's works vindicated his view that these dinosaurs roamed the planet relatively recently.
I don't know. Because, like, I don't know, man. 4,000 years old is pushing it. No. I think it's more likely, like, it could have been... hold on, Steve's FaceTiming me. Yeah, I think when it gets up to, like, the tens and hundreds of thousands of years, things are more believable for me, just because it's, like, so... It's still so fucking long, like, far away in the past that, like... I don't know, man. I mean, all the ancient civilizations and stuff that were probably much older than we think and shit. I don't know. But I definitely wouldn't say 4,000 years old.
Yeah. And that whole, Earth is only 6,000 years old thing, I don't like... I mean, I'm a Christian, and I don't see the theology that supports that. I know that there's that Bible verse that says... a day is like 1,000 years, but that doesn't mean that... Oh,
but that's like one of those things like we were talking about last time that's like way bigger of a concept than you could possibly imagine. That's like has to do with like God's like separateness of time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't take that as like an actual like unit of measurement.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Like... I don't know. I've never personally talked to a creationist, but I feel like they're like the type of Christian they give Christians a bad name. For sure, dude. Just like, shut the fuck up, man.
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but just this one thing that is associated, this one belief that's associated with them, I don't see that. I don't know how that's supported scripturally. It's not. That's why. You know what we could do though? So we pretty much debunked that or whatever. We could tell the Halloween story and get your perspective. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So
Let's have some fun.
yeah. A brief little overview. So if you guys know me from Sugar Pine, then you've
If
probably
you guys nail me, that's what it sounded like.
They say
you said.
they say nail. Sorry,
Nail.
I guess it's like a Freudian slip. You guys, if you know me from Sugar Pine 7, then you might have heard this story before. A true story, a Halloween story, of a little experience that I had with Franco on Halloween.
You're saying this. You're saying this. In such a
You know, me and
way.
Franco had a night together. I'll put it that way. But you haven't heard Franco's perspective, so I'll retell that story right now. What year was it? 2011?
It was sophomore year of high school.
2010.
It was the premiere of Walking Dead, so you can actually find the date for that.
Oh yeah, let me look that up right now.
You can find the night. We were gonna watch that. We didn't.
I think
Haven't watched it since.
I think we tried to, but we were still like buzzing from like what had just happened. Yep, 2010, October 31st, 2010. I think that was technically junior year, but it was the beginning of junior year.
No, it was sophomore year, 100%.
No, think about it. 2010, the fall of 2010, we're of the year where our grade is the same year that grade ends.
We graduated in 2012, so fall of senior year would have been 2011. So fall. Oh, you're right. It was junior year.
There it is.
Mandela Effect.
Mandela Effect. No, you're just fucking wrong. Dude, that's so funny. You just blame everything on, oh, fuck, see, Mandela Effect. We both thought that.
That was our junior year? No way, dude. No way.
Yeah, I mean, what? It's just 1 year apart, one or the other.
I could have sworn that it was our sophomore year. Maybe it wasn't the premiere of The Walking Dead. Maybe
No, it was.
Else.
It absolutely was. I promise you. It was the premiere of The Walking Dead because we were going to watch it. And that's like the landmark we have to remember that date perfectly. And when I tell the story, when I write this into a movie, that's going to happen in the movie. It's going to be a subtle thing. It's going to be a subtle thing in the background of the first episode of Walking Dead.
Well, I cannot. Seriously,
Dude,
so thought it was our sophomore year.
I've been wanting to turn this story into a movie for so long, but I have terrible motivation when it comes to doing anything. So I can't write a movie.
I guess this was more just like a moment. I think this is more like a short, more so than an actual.
No.
Movie.
We'll draw it out and do a movie.
You'll dramatize it.
Dramatize it. Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, I think just basing that event but creating a new story inspired by that event with different details and different storyline and shit. You know what I mean? But just following like the idea of how that thing.
You take the idea and you actually make a real good movie out of it.
Yep.
And that you don't just tell this to like a bunch of people.
Nope.
In movie form.
In movie form, it's just me in my webcam telling the story and how it happened, and you just play that in the movie theater. So yeah, you want to start off?
Yeah. So it was apparently junior year. Premiere of The Walking Dead. God,
that's it.
I can't get over it. Okay. And then James and I decided. James lived near our high school, and I was over at his house, and I think we were waiting for The Walking Dead to premiere. Mm-hmm. Right? Or we were doing something.
Yeah, we were hanging out. Oh, we wanted to go trick or treating because we were like, fuck it, let's try to get some candy. Even though we were already like 15 or 16 or whatever.
I think that we were just going to get some air or something.
No, we 100% had gone trick or treating, dude. I promise you. And it was so funny because we were like 16. And everyone we went to was like, I guess. I guess you can have some candy.
Dude, I'm Mandela Effecting so hard I don't remember that.
I promise you. You. Because I remember we had gone back to my house because we had candy and we dropped off the candy. And we were wearing our wrestling singlets, dude.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. Anyway, so that's not the part that I remembered. I remembered the fright that happened afterwards. So we're walking and we get close to the school. Okay, we're like right in front of the high school. And then there's this park right in front of the high school. So we see this girl kind of like picking up the pace on the other side of the street walking. And then she calls out to us. And she's like,
wait, you're missing the part. We saw them kick her out of the car. Remember? So we were walking.
Oh, that's right.
We were walking, and the car.
Oh, yeah. How long was this? This was years ago.
Dude,
this was a decade ago.
Oh my God. Yeah. Almost exactly 10 years ago. Holy shit, dude. We're so old.
This was a decade ago.
So we were walking, and the car came down the street and then like screeched and turned around quickly to the other side and kicked her out of the car. Like,
that's right.
Probably
that's
2
right.
blocks length, maybe a block and a half length away from us.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so we're walking. We're on the side with the school, and then there on the other side there's a park, and so this car comes to a speeding halt on the other side. And at first we kind of look at each other and we just laugh because it was just I don't know why we thought it was funny. And then they kick this girl out, and she goes, "You don't know how to treat a girl," and like they throw her shoes out, and then they drive away, and we're like, okay, none of our business, so we just keep walking. And then she starts to pick up the pace, and she's like, "Hey, can I get some help? I don't know where I am." And I think she called out for your phone or something.
Yeah, she wanted to use one of our phones, and
right.
You didn't have your phone.
I either didn't have it or it was.
Oh, wait a minute. Because this is the detail that I've always forgotten. One of us had our phone and one of us didn't.
Okay, that was you. You had your phone.
Right. I had my phone.
Yes.
So she used my phone.
Yeah, okay. So basically, she comes up to us, and then we stop by where the gate of the school is, which is at the corner of the street. And this is like a small residential, very quiet street, quiet little neighborhood. But
it was like, what the fuck was that sound? But it was like right in front of our high school, which was weird.
Right in front of the high school.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing cameras would have known if we got murdered, you know. But anyway, so she asks to borrow a phone, and we stop, and then you give her your phone. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, this is super sketchy. I don't want to deal with this chick. She's dressed in like classic Halloween lingerie getup. Okay, like so just some.
And
sort
Franco
of
just
costume.
wasn't having it.
I was just like, this girl just got kicked out of a car. She doesn't know where she is. Like, I was just sketched. I was 16.
Yeah, it was sketchy, but I was like,
yeah.
I was willing to help if I could in a simple way that didn't require me to put in a lot of effort. Like, I wanted to let her use my phone.
Yeah,
you know?
But I was definitely on guard.
Yeah.
She calls some dude.
Like her friend, one of her friends.
A friend, right? Yeah, actually, I don't know if it was a guy or not.
It was a guy. So she called some guy friend and was like telling him to come pick her up, but then she didn't know where she was. So she put me on the phone and was like, "Can you just tell him like where we are, what the street is?"
Oh, that's right.
And then so I just told him, and he sounded like a nice guy. And so I just told him like the cross streets that were nearby, like not exactly where we were, because I didn't want to be like, "Yeah, come, this is my address. Come pick me up." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that was it. Then we hung up.
Well, no, I think we were still on the phone with her, and we don't know if that guy was her pimp or a friend or whatever.
That's your first idea?
Yeah, dude, I thought that's what the case was. Because,
True.
Well, you never know. You never know. But that's where my mind gravitated. Anyway, so she's still on the phone, and then we see these lights at the end of the street. And so at first I think that it's a car. My mind sort of like flashes thinking, oh, it might be the people who kicked her out. But I didn't seriously think about it until the car started to get a little bit closer. And then she like kind of drops the phone down, gives it to James, and she goes, "Oh, no." And I was like, "Oh, no? Oh, no? Let's get the fuck out of here, James." And I remember I was like moving you, and I was like, "Dude, let's go." Mm-hmm. And then you just weren't moving. And I was
because
like,
she was standing behind me, and I was in between. She was like standing right behind me, and the car was here, and so I was like between her and the car. So in my head, like I knew that you were doing like, "Come on, James, let's go." And in my head, I didn't say it out loud, obviously, but in my head, I was like, "Franco, I'm going to figure out the right way for me to move out of the situation, so it doesn't just look like I just like run from the middle of it."
So anyway, the car's coming, and the girl's like, and the girl's just scared, and so I'm like, I don't know this chick, you don't know this chick, let's not lose our lives over this chick, and
And I was like, no, I love her. I'll lose my life.
I was like, dude, let's go, and so you were moving because of what was going on in your head. Anyway, the car comes to a halt right in front of us, and then there's the passenger who has this white mask on with like this black.
No,
running down.
it was a black mask, like not a mask like a Halloween mask, like a bandana type of thing with like a skull on it.
The passenger.
Yeah.
Passenger. Okay, yeah. So the way that I saw it was just like a mask, and there was black and white on it, right? And there's like this stripe on the side of it. And
this is clearly right here, the way we're remembering differently. This should be just the easiest evidence that the Mandela Effect isn't real.
This is the tie-in. This is the tie-in for the whole episode.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We wrote this whole episode. We're following a script right now.
And anyway, the driver comes out, car still running. Looks like he's clutching something, hands in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. And he had a red bandana on.
Red bandana, glasses. And he says, "Come here, babe, I just want to talk." But he says it in like this kind of
a very aggressive
tone.
and like assertive way, clearly just trying to be like, not just flat out say, "Get the fuck over here" in front of two strangers. But
yeah. So I was like, dude, let's go. I was like, last chance. I was like, let's go. And you were moving, so I was like, what the fuck is going on? So like, I just walk. I like walk to the edge. I turn, and then I just
turn the corner down a street. Yeah, because there was a street right next to it, and you just like turned the corner and ran. And I knew, like, I was just there in the entire situation, and I knew 100% that had happened. I knew that I was alone now. That Franco fucking ditched me.
I was terrified.
And I was like, so then, yeah.
Well, first of all, I was like, James isn't moving. So in my head, I'm like, he's petrified. He's not moving. He's not moving. And I was like, let's go. Anyway, so finally.
But that all just happened so quickly that, like, my processing of the situation and how I was going to handle it wasn't as immediate as yours, where you were like, the second anything even happened, you were like, I'm out of here. Like, I was like assessing the situation, you know what I mean? And being like, okay, so he's here, he's there, she's behind me. I'm going to slowly kind of move a little bit so there's space between me and the rest of them. And that's exactly what I did. I slowly kind of just creeped away, and he was walking towards her more after you had ran away and was like, come on, like blah, blah, blah. And so I was just kind of like, and then where they started talking to each other directly. And so then I just kind of like casually turned and walked towards the corner. And the second I made it around the corner, I fucking booked it.
Okay, so did you go around the same corner that I did?
The same corner. And in an instant, it couldn't have been more than 30 seconds from the time where you ran to when I ran. And in that little amount of time, we were separated. We lost each other. We had no idea where each other were.
Oh, that's so funny. So that's basically what happened when I left then. The guy just came up to her, they started talking, and you got away.
Yeah.
Okay, so same deal. Okay. So anyway, when I darted, I was like, I hid behind this car in this neighborhood, and I was like, all right, well, what do I do now?
I just left my best friend to die.
And then I was like, you know what? I know that James has his phone, but I didn't have my phone.
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, I'm just going to call him. And I can't remember if at that time I think what happened is as I was hiding, a period of time went by where I was just hiding and waiting it out. Mm-hmm. And then I thought I heard like a gunshot or something. And I'm guessing, did you hear it too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some time had gone by, and so we heard that gunshot. And I didn't have my phone on me, so I figured I'm just going to knock on one of these doors and ask the person to borrow their phone. Mm-hmm. And I was wearing my wrestling singlet, so I was
and it was Halloween night, so people were at least like not going to be shocked to have someone knocking on their door.
Right. And I was wearing a singlet that said that I went to that high school. Mm-hmm. So they let me borrow their phone, and I didn't know James's phone number.
Mm-hmm. This is the funniest part. So hang on real quick. Let me switch to my perspective of this. So Franco didn't know my phone number by heart, and I had my phone on me. So when I ran further down the street into the cul-de-sac at the end, which probably like I think from where we turned, there was either one or two little side streets and then like the cul-de-sac. And so I ran all the way at the end, and there was like this wall separating the end of the cul-de-sac from the main street next to it. And I was just hiding below the wall, like in like some brush and like below this wall. And I was just waiting there, and I was like, so many things going through my head. I'm like, okay, I don't know where Franco is, first and foremost. He could be anywhere. They don't. Oh, and I had seen their fucking car when I was hiding because the main street was near me. I remember I had heard a car and I kind of peeked, and it was the same silver car. And I was like, oh my fucking God, they're actually looking for us right now. Like, they're actually looking for us. This isn't just like us getting carried away. Because they were like literally driving around like looking. And so I'm waiting there, and who knows, man, how much time had gone past. It could have been a minute, it could have been an hour, how much time we were apart, like hiding, you know what I mean? And so I get a call.
Praying. I straight up was like, I hope I'm okay. I hope James is okay. I was like, let me not die tonight.
Yeah. And I got a call from Ricardo randomly out of the blue. I got a call from Ricardo.
Okay.
And randomly out of the blue. And I looked at it and I was like,
oh, that's right.
Why is Ricardo calling me? And so I pick up the phone and I was like, hello? And he was like, hey, are you with Franco? And I was like, what? And he was like, Franco just called me and said that you guys were separated and some shit was going on. And I was like, yeah, wait a minute. Franco doesn't have his phone. What do you mean he called you? How did he call you? And then Franco was like, and Ricardo was like, I don't know. He called me and there was like another guy's voice in the background. And I was like, oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? They got Franco and they're like making him call me.
Using me as bait.
And I was like, oh my God, Ricardo, something big is going on right now, dude. We got caught up in some shit. And I was like, Ricardo, you're involved now. I need you to hang up the phone and call back that number and tell me who answers. And I don't remember what happened after that.
So basically, our friend Ricardo, I had his phone number memorized because I always used to call him to ask him what the homework assignments were. So I had his phone number memorized, and I knew that he had James's phone. So I called him to help to call James because I couldn't call James. And I wasn't going to memorize James's phone number if he just told it to me. And
but you could have easily, exactly, Thinking back, like there's so many ways that could have been done more smoothly, but it added to the drama.
It added to the drama. So I had him call.
And of course, that's what Franco was worried about. Franco was thinking about the theatrics of the whole thing.
And I was trying to describe to him where I was at so he can relay that information to James. And so, anyways, then that happens.
Did he call back that number? I don't remember.
I believe so, because I had two conversations. And then when he got on the phone with me, then we had a similar conversation where we were wondering if they had you.
Oh, because I think I told Ricardo that I saw them like pass by and that they were looking for us.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't.
And Ricardo's a fucking pathological liar. He's probably trying to like add to it. He was trying to add to us. Yeah, no, I think they killed James.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So true though. He was extremely helpful in this situation, actually. And then I can't remember how it was that we finally reunited.
I think he had, after the second call with you, I think he called me back again and then told me like, no, Franco is at someone's house in the neighborhood and borrowed their phone. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then like we both like understood that we were nearby. And then so I walked down on the main street and you were standing in the doorway of the like a house on the corner. And then we reunited. But that's not where it ends. That's not where the story ends.
No, that's not where the story ends. It's so funny though, thinking about us in like our 16-year-old voices going through all this and like being hella serious with recording over the phone. Anyway.
Dude, but the craziest fucking thing when he was like, Franco called me from some random number and I heard a guy's voice in the background. Obviously, in this situation, you're going to be like, there's no way. There's no way. They got him. They got him. Like, it's crazy. So we reunite. We thanked the neighbor. He was a very nice guy. But then we went on. I think he even offered to like give us a ride or something. But then we were like, no, it's okay.
I don't know. I can't remember what happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just remember like we decided no because my house wasn't that far. It's probably like a 30-minute walk, which thinking back is pretty long to be walking when there's someone looking for you. But we decided we're gonna walk back, but take a different route. Oh yeah, we took a main street where there was actually traffic, so that they couldn't just sneak up on us or something. So we walked around to that main street. And we're on the left side of the street walking like against traffic on the other side of the street. You know what I mean? So we're not on the right side walking with traffic, we're on the other side walking against traffic on the sidewalk. And we're just walking.
So we're just on the left.
Yeah, exactly. We're on the left side. And
of the sidewalk.
Well, I don't know if there's anyone from the UK listening.
We got a huge UK fan base established.
Definitely have a few. So we're just walking and like talking about the shit that was just happening. And in the corner of my eye, I see a car driving slowly, matching our speed on the street. And I look over and it's the silver car with the two guys in the fucking car. The driver's looking at us.
And I see the guy with the mask.
With the mask, they're leaning forward, looking at us, pointing at us like that. And they're both, we lock eyes. We're both aware of each other's presence. We know that, those are the guys. And so me and Franco just fucking book it.
Well, no, they do a U-turn and they park like right next to us, and so we're like, nope, and we book it as fast
because
as we could possibly
they would
go.
have to turn around again. So
we were outrunning cars. We were going extremely fast.
We were probably going about 15 miles an hour average running speed. So we ran and then like hid behind these bushes, these two hedges in front of this house. And like, I think one of them was short and you like crashed out behind it. And one of them was tall and skinny. And I like went like that behind it. So like we like hid next to it. And then they like drove past. And then we kept going a little bit further down the street. On the corner, there was a 7-Eleven. And we went into the 7-Eleven because we're like, okay, it's an establishment. It's very brightly lit. They're not going to come in here. And then we were thinking, holy shit, if these guys are actually like fucking criminals and they have masks on, then there's nothing stopping them from just walking into the 7-Eleven and fucking blowing us away, man. And but then we ran into some friends.
What's going to stop them from holding up the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, then that's a 2-in-1.
And then
a miracle.
Playboy Bunny came out of the bathroom. And it was this girl from our school.
Yeah.
And two of her friends. And one of them happened to have a truck, and it seated all of us.
Yeah, and we told them everything.
Back to James's house.
And we were like...
And we had an orgy.
That's so funny. Dude, that was like a miracle that they were there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's so funny. Imagine from their perspective, we're frantic and we run up to them. Okay, listen, you guys, you never believe what just happened to us. We got into some shit. We got involved in some shit. You got to give me a ride back to my house. And then they're like, okay.
Yeah, and then we made it safely.
But I remember hearing a pop like a gunshot, and I remember hearing an ambulance.
Oh yeah. Well, there was an ambulance that came as we were crossing this marketplace, and remember those two homeless guys, like Halloween fuckers, and it's like,
yeah,
I have to deal with that. Remember that there was at one point where we thought the car was coming, so we like flattened ourselves on the sidewalk.
Yeah, like, oh my God, yeah. We got lower than the curb. We literally, the curb, and here's the street. And we made ourselves so flat to like, we weren't in the line of vision just below a curb.
In reality, it was probably just our heads, but the rest of our body was
clearly visible. We had orange on our suits. We were reflective in the nighttime. Oh, man. Yeah. That's crazy.
It was a lot of adrenaline, for sure.
Dude, I wish there was a machine that you could like hook up to your mind and relive past experiences, but like just viewing them. I'd love to just watch that whole night and see if
a thought projector.
Yeah,
like a memory.
But no, not a memory projector, because that would just, if you're remembering wrong, then it would be wrong. I mean, like actually, like viewing exactly
just
what
whatever
happened.
whatever you want to remember. Just the way that you think it is. That's what you want to see.
No, I want to see what actually happened.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the memory projector would have to be 100% accurate, or else it's not.
Yeah, exactly, or else it could be anything. But just to know exactly like what happened and if we are misremembering and exaggerate anything, because I feel like I've told that story so many times over the years, but I think I've been pretty inconsistent. But yeah.
I told that story during my comms class in college.
Really?
We were supposed to tell a story in front of the whole class, and so I picked that story.
What do they think?
I thought it was awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Hey, that was a good story.
Yeah,
I love that story.
Class.
Hell yeah, dude.
Got
Wait a
an A
minute.
just because of that.
No, just random memories popping in my head. Cool. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We talked about the Mandela Effect. We decided it's stupid. We talked about 33,000-year-old dinosaur remain. We decided, who knows? And we told the best story of all time, which I will make into a film in some way, shape, or form one day. You have my word. And this has been episode 3. You have anything to say? Anything to talk about?
I really wanted to go over some comments that were on the YouTube videos and anything else, but we can do that. We can do that next time because it is getting a little late.
Yeah. And I'll actually make a post next week too about asking us questions and shit. I didn't do that this week, so my bad. Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the James Franco podcast. We'll see you next week.